Hi Virgo, welcome to your end of November 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I'm just going to give you a few of the astrological highlights that are occurring in the final couple of weeks of November because they are fairly significant to your life. We just had Mars go direct in its own sign of Aries, so that should feel like things are moving forward. In your case, this is occurring in the eighth house. And the eighth house for you, having Mars there direct, can be some kind of, if this is an inheritance issue or other fight for money that you are sharing with other people, this could be on. Maybe there have been delays and other adjustments that had to be made that relate to whatever is going on, and you couldn't do anything about it. And now perhaps you're going to be able to progress in this situation. And another thing about the eighth house is that it's a house of what lies beneath. And the Mars here is very like an investigative reporter, trying to ferret out secrets. Very suspicious, but very determined to figure out what's really going on. So if there's some situation in your life, even within yourself, because this is the house of psychotherapy, you could be taking an active role. Now that Mars is direct, there's much more of a sense of accomplishment. But certainly if you're dealing with money matters that involve not just you but other people, it's a lot less frustrating for you to have to deal with that. Okay, and what else is happening? Well, on the 14th, I'm actually recording this on the 14th, and in my neck of the woods, tonight is a new moon in Scorpio. It might be happening for you on the 15th, but in that time range. And this is a friendly angle to you because Scorpio is a water sign. It's forming a sextile, and this is in the third house of communications, teaching and learning, which, even though this is the house ruled by Gemini, this can feel very comfortable for you because Gemini is ruled by Mercury and you're ruled by Mercury. So you may really vibe with some of the themes of the third house. It's the house of teaching and learning, communicating, and even siblings, extended family members fall into this house. So taking that theme of Mars in the eighth house, there could be some kind of an agreement or new understanding that you reach with when it comes to siblings, if there's like an inheritance issue that there has been some kind of a fight over. And actually, this is the house where Mercury went retrograde. So there might have been misunderstandings with siblings that led to a little bit of dissension. And now things are much more on point between the two of you, and you've come to a new agreement. Although, it's funny, I joke sometimes when there's a new moon in the seventh house, and I say that could be divorce because it's like a new development in your committed partnership called divorce. So if you have a new day with your sibling and you've never talked to him again, I guess that's a new development too. But I'm just trying to cover all the bases, I guess. And then on the 30th, we have a lunar eclipse and 8 degrees of Gemini. So another mutable sign, Gemini. And for you, this is actually your 10th house of career, Virgo. So a lunar eclipse could be an unexpected promotion or recognition that you get. When I say unexpected, what I mean is that it's more than you expected. Maybe you were vying for a promotion, but you didn't realize that you were going to, become, the top dog or whatever, I don't know. Or if you're somebody who is in the entertainment field, that you become famous. Now, obviously, I'm not saying everybody is going to become famous, but this is the top of the chart, and the lunar eclipse can, suddenly thrust you into the limelight for some reason. So, it's very interesting. So, anyway, let's see what the cards say. I think I'm going to go like this and just kind of smush these cards around. Well, so far, on 2 major arcana cards. Make that 3 major arcana cards. That's pretty cool. Oh, this card flipped over. Maybe I should acknowledge it, even though it just kind of flipped over when I was trying to smush the cards. So I'm going to bring that into the mix. I'm going to pick an additional card for that. And the outcome. Pick an additional card for that as well. Okay. We definitely have some dramatic energy here. Or important developments. And I always say to, these are YouTube readings, but any kind of reading that you get, I mean, if you take it too seriously, you don't have fun with it, and it becomes something that is anxiety producing. If you look at it as, let's see what's happening in my life and see if it matches up to this, then you can say, wow, there's a lot of synchronicities there, or are a lot of synchronicities. But maybe that's confirming something in your life, a message, but not to be too literal and fatalistic and acting like everything. I'm trying to have you see these cards, but this particular tripod doesn't allow me to push down. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Death card, and I think you've known by now that the Death card is not a card to fear. It's a card of transformation. It means something has ended. And the problem with something ending is when somebody doesn't realize it has ended. So if it's a relationship that you can't accept is over, and you may still be married, living with this person, so you might have reason to be in denial because you might say, yeah, but we're still together. But you know that it's really over. And if this is a death of someone in your life, then that the death card isn't saying somebody's going to die. It says that you've been dealing with this. When I get this central theme, this is something that you've already been dealing with, but it's like front and center in your life. And so when I was talking about, a will or that kind of shared resources, yes, I mean, if you're getting divorced or have gotten divorced, that could be shared resources, or the death of somebody in the family or what have you. And all the feelings that go along with that, the grief, but also sometimes the anger, and sometimes if that person didn't treat you well, relief, and then that can produce guilt. So there's all kinds of emotions that can be had by physical death. If you have lost your job, or if you know that, well, let me just bring up this card. This is the past position, the Magician card. So what I was saying is, if you know that it's only a matter of time before you leave a job, that you're kind of through with it, either you just don't like what you're doing, or you don't think that, you feel like you've been betrayed too many times, then it can feel like it's all over but the shouting. I know that I'm going through major transformation in my life, and yet I haven't really taken that step, and maybe you're still getting things together. Because the Magician card, to me, is ultimately about understanding your personal power in life and not being dependent on other people for your good. That's ultimately what it means to me. And so your good could even be like in a relationship where you need somebody to bolster your self-esteem, tell you how great you are. And sometimes we just don't have that. Sometimes it's us against the world. And we don't have those people in our life that are that have our back, that are, on our side. And you have to be your own greatest cheerleader. If you're looking for encouragement from external sources, you'll find that sometimes it's not forthcoming. And so, or if you want to accomplish certain things, it's kind of like that thing of going and asking the boss for a raise and getting shot down and then being frustrated about it, maybe resentful, and eventually saying, I have to take matters into my own hands. And what does that mean? It means that I'm not just expecting other people to do what I want them to do. It's not going to work anymore. I have to, do things for myself. So the higher message is the Queen of Pentacles. And I would say that, the best depiction or description of the Queen of Pentacles is the Earth Mother, the consummate Earth Mother. Even if you're a man, it's nurturing the earth, being more, less of a go-get-'em type of a person who's just out there like conquering the world, and more of, the person, the gardener, it's funny because I think of the hermit. I don't know if hermits garden, because you're the hermit in the tarot. And I don't know why this is so blurry. I don't like that. I'm going to hold up this and see if it forces it to focus. Okay, maybe that'll bring it back. I don't know. It's like all of a sudden everything is just a big blur. But there we go. I think that's better. And, the problem that happens, or the kind of the paradox, is that a lot of people work so hard so that they can have money to buy a house, and then they can't enjoy that house. The Queen of Pentacles is the queen of her castle. And, it's kind of like if you're fighting for money, what are you really fighting for? You're fighting for that sense of being able to take pleasure from the things that you do, not just to prove that you're, really important or something like that. And most Virgos are, I think, very into simple living, not really ostentatious, unless you have Mars and Leo or something like that, which you might, or Venus and Leo. You might be more show-offy in that sense. But most of you probably are like the Queen of Pentacles, where you want to grow things. You want to live a life of simplicity, taking care, if you have children, taking care of them, teaching them, maybe homeschooling. I could see that being this. This is earth energy, earth and water energy with this card. And so really feeling the sense of devout desire to care for the things of the earth. And it's also a good money card. And I do have like several money cards here. So this may be primarily about your source of income, like how are you getting money, but that you are provided for, the universe is providing. Maybe you lost your job, but you still have money coming from another source. What crosses you is the Fool card, and this is a card, I think I got this for Cancer in the upright position. This is about the person who is setting off on a new adventure, but they are just like winging it. They're not, they don't have a specific destination. So it's a true adventure. This can also be the card that's connected to Uranus, which is about nonconformity, not kind of fitting into some kind of cookie cutter situation. So maybe it's an alternative lifestyle. Maybe you have gotten tired of the hamster wheel, 9 to 5 existence, even though Virgo rules the 6th house, which deals with daily routines, and you may actually be the one, one of the few signs that really enjoys having that type of routine. But some of you are going to be different. You might have the moon in Aquarius or something where you want to have a very offbeat kind of a lifestyle. And in that case, you may be more nomadic. Maybe you want to be a digital nomad. You don't want to be tied to a desk. And so things are conspiring on your behalf. If you lost your job, you can say, oh, I'm so glad that I've been released from this because I wanted to leave anyway. It's hard to say that in the moment. I understand that because there's so much of those primal fears. But over time, when you're able to reframe it in a more positive way, then you can really kind of take advantage of what it means to be doing just that. What's coming in? This is the card that jumped out at me. 9 of Pentacles. Maybe it wanted you to know you are financially independent. You are financially independent. Keep saying that to yourself. If you don't feel that way, sometimes people are used to a certain level of income each month, and even if their income is reduced, but they can still pay their bills, they still feel that sense of anxiety because they sense that something has been lost that they were counting on. And it's human nature. I'm not saying that you should feel stupid about thinking that way, but you have to really remember, if you do have the means to support yourself, or if you have savings, that you be grateful for this opportunity to have, if you're like in between jobs, to be, you have the free time to be able to create and reinvent yourself. Then we have another card that is with it, and it's the 7 of Pentacles. And this is a card of watching something grow. This is the Farmer's card. So it can be if a person is experiencing, I'm just trying to do that a little bit, some kind of change in their financial situation, that they are able to see that it's going to take time for things to really show what, their value. So maybe you're getting a little impatient about something. If you've started your own business, that could be what the Magician represents, that you have to wait for things to catch on. And at the same time, use your own creative talents to figure out new ways to either market yourself or get the word out, whatever that means to you, and to branch out and to do as many things as possible to, promote yourself and to thrive in your type of business or what have you. And in relationships, if you have kind of like ended a relationship, I think a lot of times it's because and you may not have actually been the one to say goodbye, but it could be the other person senses your autonomy with the Magician card. And so they say that when you change your life, that can lead to the other person, if they've been bothering you, to kind of like they leave your life, they exit your life because they don't want any kind of contact with you now that you have become more autonomous. It's almost like garlic to a vampire or something like that. And the same thing applies to people who have raised their self-esteem. They say this about narcissists, is that they just, they call it the narcissistic discard. Sometimes when the victim has become strong enough, the narcissist leaves, and in part, whether they realize it or not, they're trying to destroy you. They're trying to get you to completely question your self-worth by rejecting you. And if you somehow resist the urge to contact them and you just keep, getting on with your life, right at the point when you've really gone over this threshold of even thinking about that person or caring about what they are doing in their life, that's when they call you, because they know, they sense that you are getting your life in order, and they, that's just how they do what they do. And in any case, so that's happening. And so the outcome, one of the cards that I got is the Eight of Swords. I mentioned how the Fool card was in the challenge position. One of the things is the Fool card is the first card of the deck, but it's 0. It's not 1. The Magician is 1. Interesting that we got the 0 and the 1. And if you sense, Virgo, that your life is changing and that you're right on the threshold of a new chapter in your life, you're going to have to tie up those loose ends that the Death card represent, the things that need to be kind of resolved. So this may be a relationship that is on again, off again, or maybe it's hanging together by a thread. And maybe you have to be the one that walks away from it if the other person has not already, because you really want to start this new journey, but something is holding you back or obstructing that. And the Eight of Swords can be that you need to start perhaps saying affirmations so that you can unlock this part of yourself that feels like you're holding on to something from the past that is already done. What's the term? Gone and done with? I don't know. You know what I mean. And sometimes this is also negative self-talk. So things you're saying to yourself, which make it harder for you to really feel like you are worth fighting for and getting what you want. And then we have the Queen of Swords. And this can be making a decision that you have to make. And I did sense that at the beginning of the reading, but now, after all of this, we see that this person has to make a decision. Now, unlike the King of Swords, this is not for you to totally reject your emotions. Your emotions, in terms of sympathy for another person, maybe you do take that into account. For instance, let's say you want to leave your marriage, but your spouse, they might be the biggest douche canoe on the planet, but you want to, that they love Christmas, and they're always very nice at Christmas. Sometimes narcissists are weird like that, there's certain times where they're nice, and so you want to, you still want them to be happy, even if they have put you through a lot of suffering. So you say, I'm not going to announce that I'm leaving until after the new year. But you're still resolving to make a decision like you're at this juncture in your life. And that's what I'm referring to. So compassionate decisions that have to be made. And compassionate to yourself as well. What do you need in order to feel honored and loved in this time of life? That could be something important to consider. Okay, that's what I have for you. I was going to say Libra. Oh my God, Virgo, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I wonder if I was going to say Libra. That's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that you enjoyed this. I would love to work with you. If you like my style, please check out my website, rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. I have a moon in Virgo, so I'm very Virgo-esque. I have 2 outer planets in Virgo too. So I'm mainly an astrologer. I do the tarot because it's something that seems like a lot of people enjoy, and it's also something that is very popular worldwide. It seems like that is true as well. I think people like visuals, and it's easier, because I'm not a personality per se. I don't show my face. I like my privacy and things like that. So this gives me a way to show something, on YouTube, and just show you how I work. But I do private tarot readings as well. You can check me out below. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care. Bye.